Okay, there's Diddy right there making his entrance into the hotel lobby. And here are these guys. Oh, excuse me.
That means, potentially could mean, that there would be new charges for Diddy. As latest here from Brooklyn, we'll send things back inside.
All right, Lizette, thank you very much.
Okay, so this Diddy thing is developing very fastly. Everything that's happening now, Diddy was led out of the New York City hotel in handcuffs. The footage has surfaced, and yeah, we're going to take a look at it. Combs is facing federal sex crime allegation charges following an indictment. Video of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest was obtained by TMZ, shows federal agents leading the music mogul out of a Manhattan motel. The surveillance video shows Combs being approached by two apparent agents as he enters the hotel with a group of people with him. It was a huge group of people. Combs was arrested on Monday, September 16th by Homeland Security Investigations, HSI agents, a day before he was indicted on charges of trafficking. Okay, there's Diddy right there making his entrance into the hotel lobby. And here are these guys. Oh, excuse me. And they're putting their arms on him. They're like, yeah, we're going to separate you from the rest of these people here. Your sons or whoever they are. Walk him around the corner. Or he's already in cuffs right here. His arms are behind his back. Wow. I wonder if the hotel actually just gave this footage up. Wow, they've got targeting. And there they go, taking him out with his hands behind his back. Yeah, there it is, unfortunately. This is his last walk as a free man until, something else happens, obviously. He's kind of hesitant to go out, looks like. There's going to be paparazzi out there potentially. And they hit him on out. You see they were dressed very plain clothes. So you wouldn't even notice they weren't on vacation or something. Racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution. The Bad Boy Records founder had come to New York in anticipation of the charges, his lawyer said. In the video, Combs and the other people with him appear to be caught off guard by the arrest. After Combs is seen being led in handcuffs to a bank of elevators and is eventually led back out of the hotel. I guess they took him back to the room to actually get access to the room and see what he had available. And I guess that's where they found that he had the pink powder with him that he's known to partake in, and whatever else they found there in the hotel. After his $50 million bail proposal was rejected by two separate judges, Combs is being held at MDC Brooklyn, a notorious federal lockup facility. Combs pleaded guilty to all the charges against... Wait, is that right? No. Combs pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him and is due back in court in early October, but he's going to be stuck in there.
The story we're tracking, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after two judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from sex workers very soon. Good Day's Lizette Nunez is outside the facility in Gowanus with the very latest. Lizette, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. So TMZ is reporting that two sex workers are sharing their encounters with Diddy with the feds. We're also hearing that Diddy has a target on his back while he is behind bars here at the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Yeah, they probably got a bounty on Diddy. Somebody's probably targeting him. He needs to be in protective custody, because don't let anything happen to this guy out there. This all sounds a little shady on the timing of it and how things are going, the more I think about it.
TMZ is reporting that more people plan to cooperate with the feds in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking case.
We found out that these two individuals, and we have actually spoken to one of them. They are both sex workers, currently sex workers. One of them says that they had an interaction with Diddy in 2014. And they are willing to tell the feds what they know about that interaction.
Of course, we remember the famous tape of the Miami sex worker who said that he was a slave, quote unquote, of Diddy's. His ranting seemed a little odd at the time and seemed like he was a little off his meds. But now, in hindsight, they make a lot of sense, and they're starting to seem like the beginning of what was to come.
Jeremy Saland, a criminal defense attorney, weighing in.
You can't, as a prosecutor, subpoena or force a witness to come speak to you in your office, but you can subpoena them to a grand jury where they can speak there or have to potentially speak there. So whether these are new witnesses, whether these are new complainants, meaning victim parties, out making the allegations, will yet to be seen. But it doesn't bode well. It doesn't, certainly it's not a good thing if you're Sean Combs' team.
According to several reports, Diddy has been placed on suicide watch at the Metropolitan Correction Center in Brooklyn. The music mogul's mental state is unknown, but being placed on watch is considered to be a preventative measure. This week, 2 different judges denied his request for.
They most likely took his shoestrings and made other precautions now that he is on watch to make sure nothing happens. Didn't seem like Diddy was anywhere close to that, but, with this mounting pressure and potential life sentence hanging in the balance, it's not a good thing for a person like Diddy to be left alone.
For a $50 million bond. His lead defense attorney is attempting to move him to a different facility in New Jersey as he awaits trial. TMZ is reporting that due to his celebrity status and the allegations, this could bring unwanted attention from other inmates and be a threat to Diddy.
What we've been told by a former warden is he's a target. That's the fact of the matter, and that's why they have him in a solitary part of the jail, because they don't, he becomes a target because it's like what we've been told, it's like a badge of honor that if you were able to inflict some violence on Diddy, that.
That's strange. That's the first time I've seen that piece of money right there that fell out of that bag. Some of the theories about what Cassie potentially had in that bag, they seem to be coming out now that we can see, clearly what looks like money falling out of that bag.
That gets you score points with other inmates. So that's the situation that obviously the jail officials do not want to happen.
And federal investigators have made it clear that they do have video evidence, so they have an idea of who was a part of these freak-offs. Now, the criminal defense attorney that we spoke to, he went on to say, depending on what these sex workers share, that potentially could mean that there would be new charges for Diddy. As the latest here from Brooklyn, we'll send things back inside.
All right, Lizette, thank you very much.
The music mogul is accused of threatening and abusing multiple victims over years. Prosecutors say he had a lot of help, and those alleged accomplices are now in their sights. Our senior investigative correspondent Aaron Tursky has the latest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. With Sean Combs locked up here at this federal jail, investigators are now turning to his inner circle. This morning, as hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs fights racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges, investigators are working to determine who his co-conspirators were and whether they, too, should be charged.
Now, that's the question I would ask. That is the ultimate question of this case right now. Who else is implicated in these charges? And is Diddy the only person that could possibly be connected to this thing if you're charging him as a criminal organization? The RICO charge, as we know in the YSL case, it was a whole operation that they said was a record company that was operating as a criminal enterprise. So does that implicate any of the employees? Does that implicate his sons, other family members, other girlfriends, other boyfriends, whatever? These sex workers, does that implicate other people, or is this only focused on getting Diddy and nothing else? So this is an interesting turn of events. Diddy's a very wealthy man, obviously, so he's got the best legal help, you're assuming, to kind of navigate him through this. But unfortunately, he's just going to have to sit in jail at least until he gets to see the judge in October, probably the end of October. So that's going to be an interesting thing. But very reminiscent of other cases we've seen. Epstein, anyone? Sounds a lot like Epstein. Sounds a lot like Cosby. But there's no telling what really will happen here. But this is a video that's interesting of King Combs. But what does it show off in this video? Diddy had 2 beds in the basketball court of his home. That's really strange when you think about it. Who has 2 beds right next to the... That's a different level of freaky. That's diabolically freaky. It looks like they open up the wall and it's like a trundle bed, like in those 80s sitcoms. Who in the world needs beds on a basketball court?